The Vanderbilt Commodores, undefeated, traveling to Tuscaloosa to take on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Alabama, a 10.5-point favorite in this one, 3:30 Eastern time on ABC. Bryant-Denny Stadium, looking forward to this game. And for the first time since 1937, both programs enter this matchup ranked in the AP poll. It's a testament to what Vanderbilt has done under Clark Lee. College Game Day will be there. This is a big opportunity for Vanderbilt, much like last year, where they had a 40-35 upset in favor of the Doors, knocking off Alabama. The first victory over the Crimson Tide that season since 1984, and their first ever win against the number one ranked team. And the memory of that loss looms. Alabama players openly talked about it throughout the offseason. They openly talked about it, I think, leading up to this game. Alabama's riding a wave of momentum after a great upset on the road at Georgia that snapped the Bulldogs' 33-game home winning streak. However, there is a bit of a psychological dynamic that is somewhat comparable to last year. Alabama gets that signature win, which kind of sets the stage for a possible trap game, right? Like, that's what you got to be mindful of. But I think Alabama, with the way they've approached it and what they experienced last year, they'll be ready to play. I think they'll play well. But Vanderbilt is legit now. I think this team is actually a lot better than they were last year. This is a huge opportunity to kind of validate that national ranking, to prove that the 2024 victory was not an anomaly, but the new expectation for Vanderbilt football under Clark Lee. Coaching matchup's awesome. You look at Kalen DeBoer, I think the big thing for him is to kind of avoid that emotional letdown, making sure that his team avoids the, quote, rat poison. I think he will. I mean, this team knows very well how good this Vanderbilt team can be when they are operating at full capacity. And look, Clark Lee, to be an alumnus at Vanderbilt, he was the 2024 SEC Coach of the Year. He's already engineered one of the more remarkable turnarounds in college football in recent history. He's instilled kind of an identity of discipline and ball control, and his teams are consistently among the least penalized. They're great at controlling the time of possession, and that will be huge, kind of shorten the game. And that's kind of a key tenet of his strategy, to shorten the game against teams that have more talent. The quarterback matchup's one of the best of the weekend. Ty Simpson, the redshirt junior, has been off the charts the last couple of weeks, man. He is so good, so decisive, playing smart football. And Kirby Smart actually recently called him the hottest quarterback in college football. So, I mean, if Kirby Smart's saying it, let's take his word for it. He's been very precise, great decision-making, and he has been 11-0 touchdown to interception ratio. Don't forget, though, I mean, he could take off. He's got adequate mobility, and he's shown a knack for kind of escaping pressure and extending plays. He does have almost 60 yards rushing, so he can keep you honest if the pass rush gets too aggressive. Diego Pavia on the other side, he's the undisputed engine of Vanderbilt's resurgence. He's fiery, he's aggressive, he's a competitor, and his mentality kind of defines the team's identity. He's your typical dual threat, excels as a runner, has great vision, great toughness, not just on designed runs, but also on scrambles. So far, through 5 games, he has 294 rushing yards. That's top 10 amongst quarterbacks in the FBS. And he's been especially lethal on third down, where 80% of his carries go for a first down or for a touchdown. Now, he doesn't have like a crazy arm, but he's fearless. And he's extremely willing to throw the ball at any point downfield off play action. And he can really do a great job of creating plays off schedule, and almost looks more comfortable when he's on the move and things are going haywire around him. So his performance has been outstanding this year, and he has not made as many bad decisions as he did at times last year. So it will be imperative for him to continue to play smart football. Vanderbilt comes into this game with a pretty clean bill of health. Alabama on the other side, 2 Wolf linebackers. Quay Russaw, who was the starter, got a surgery after hurting his foot against Georgia. He will be missed in this game. And then Jamarian Lathan, who is the primary backup at the Wolf spot, he's out with a neck injury that he sustained in practice. So they're a little thin at that Wolf spot there on the end of the line of scrimmage. You also have a defensive tackle in James Smith, who will have to sit out the first half of the Vanderbilt game after getting ejected there in the second half of the Georgia contest with the targeting. So that will be something to watch as well, because he is a difference maker there along the defensive line. Question number 1, can Alabama's passing attack continue to dominate? They are a top 10 team when it comes to throwing the football. They have yet to commit a turnover through 4 games. This is Alabama's biggest advantage in the game. They have a deep and explosive receiving core led by Jeremy Bernard, and the supremely talented Ryan Williams, both are capable of taking over a game. And they're facing a Vanderbilt secondary that's widely considered probably the biggest question mark on what is a very solid defense from top to bottom. And the unit has kind of improved their depth in the transfer portal, but they haven't seen anything like they're going to see with Alabama's combination of elite quarterback play, complex route concepts, and NFL talent on the outside. So if Vanderbilt's corners cannot hold up in man coverage, it will force them into kind of some softer zone schemes. And that's when Ty Simpson can surgically dissect on the intermediate throws and on some of the underneaths as well. Question number 2, can Alabama contain Diego Pavia and limit Vanderbilt's rushing attack? Alabama is currently giving up 160 yards a game on the ground. That's 90th. Vanderbilt has 3 different ball carriers that have over 200 rushing yards. Diego Pavia is their leader. He's got nearly 300. Cedric Alexander is second. He's got nearly 250. You also have Young, who's in there at 3. He's got 211. And with the top 2 Wolf linebackers out, Alabama is a little bit vulnerable to the rushing lanes that can be created with this very deceptive rushing attack. And if the inexperienced replacements that are filling in for Rousseau and Latham, if they can't set the edge and kind of keep Diego Pavia in the pocket, he has the potential to kind of control the game by extending drives with his legs and kind of wearing down this defense that might be a little more thin than they were just a couple weeks ago. Question number 3, can Alabama create a rushing attack of their own? The most glaring mismatch in the game, statistically speaking, is actually Vanderbilt's run defense against Alabama's rushing offense. If you look at where Alabama's at right now, they're averaging less than 4 yards a carry and just over 120 a game on the ground. That's triple digit. So they got to figure that out a little bit, and they're facing a Vanderbilt defensive front that has been really, really good. They're allowing just 70 yards per game and under 3 yards per attempt. So that group up front defensively for Vanderbilt, that might be the most improved unit from last year to where they're at this year. And the return of Jam Miller from injury does provide a boost to Alabama in the offensive line. They have not created a ton of movement, but I did see growth from the first 3 games to the game that we saw last week against the Georgia Bulldogs. I know you're not going to look at it statistically and see growth, but if you just watch how that offensive line was engaged, it did look like they take a big step in that direction. And if Alabama can't kind of control the line of scrimmage, that does put a little more pressure on Ty Simpson and the passing game, and it gets especially difficult when they get in the red zone. Look, I have full faith that Alabama will move the ball between the 20s. But in order to consistently score in the red zone, you got to be able to run the football. So getting that offensive line going, getting that run game going will be very helpful for Alabama, not just in this contest, but in several contests down the road. Question number 4, can Vanderbilt maintain their offensive efficiency? That's right. That's not an opinion, by the way. Do you realize that Vanderbilt, statistically speaking, has the most efficient offense right now in college football? That is accurate. They are number 1 in offensive efficiency. Phenomenal balance. 271 through the air, 223 on the ground. They're top 5 on third down conversions. They convert over 60%. They're top 3 in red zone percentage. And they don't really get off schedule very much. They've allowed just 3 sacks this year. That's top 10. So Alabama must be great on third down in this defense, in this game defensively. They are 100th nationally in opponent third down conversion rate. Teams convert right now 46% of the time. We saw tremendous growth in that area against Georgia. Georgia converted just 2 out of 8. But that was why Vanderbilt was able to control the clock and kind of wear down Alabama's defense last year, is Alabama really struggled on third down. We know Vanderbilt want to shorten the game. We know they want to play slow and methodical. If Bama can get off the field on third down, that would go a long way in helping them continue to play at a high level on both sides of the ball, not just on the offensive side. Question number 5, can Alabama continue to play smart football? Right now, they're +7 in the turnover margin. That's third best in college football. Ty Simpson's been amazing. With how aggressive he's been, to marry up his aggressiveness with ball security has been outstanding. And their offense, even if it's one-dimensional, has been really good at taking care of the football. And Vanderbilt has forced 9 turnovers this year. That's top 10. Now, Alabama turned it over 2 times in this game last year, and that was a big reason for the Vanderbilt 40-35 upset. If Alabama can keep clean sheet and make Vanderbilt drive the length of the field, that will be huge in favor of the Tide. And then question 6, can Vanderbilt control the pace of the game? Look, Kalen DeBoer's offensive philosophy is predicated on high volume, utilizing some tempo, maximizing possessions, and kind of leveraging the superior speed and skill at the wide receiver spots. However, Clark Lea's blueprint for victory against top-tier competition, which we saw in 2024, is deliberately go out of their way to shorten the game. Vandy's path is pretty obvious. Their offense embarks on long, methodical drives. They convert over 60% of their third downs, and they dominate time of possession for more than 38 minutes. That shrinks the play exposure that their defense will be subjected to, and it keeps Ty Simpson and company on the sideline. So it'll be very, very important for Vanderbilt, if they want to pull the upset, to continue to have those long, methodical drives and keep Ty Simpson at bay. I will not make a pick in this game, but I will be on the call alongside Sean McDonough and Molly McGrath from Tuscaloosa.